Michael Reed is taking his usual Saturday walk along the Oregon coastline when he spots a small creature stranded in a tide pool. No bigger than a golf ball, with brilliant blue rings pulsing across its tan body. Mesmerized, he gently scoops it up and places it in deeper water. Hours later at home, he notices something impossible. Faint blue markings appearing on his palm, glowing softly. The Oregon coast has a rhythm all its own. Every morning, the tide pulls back like a curtain, revealing hidden worlds tucked between rocks and kelp. For Michael Reed, Saturday mornings meant walking these shores, breathing in the salt air, and letting the sound of waves clear his mind. He'd lived near the ocean his entire life, worked as a marine electrician for over a decade, yet he rarely stopped to notice the smaller details beneath his feet. That morning felt different somehow. The sun hung low and golden, casting long shadows across the wet sand. Michael wandered along the tide pools, stepping carefully around clusters of mussels and barnacles. And then he saw it. Nestled in a shallow pool was a small creature, barely the size of a golf ball. Its body was soft and tan, but what caught his attention were the rings. Brilliant blue circles that pulsed gently across its skin, glowing like tiny neon lights against the pale sand below. Michael crouched down, mesmerized. The creature moved slowly, almost gracefully, its tentacles unfurling in delicate spirals. It looked fragile and beautiful, stranded in a pool too shallow to survive. Without thinking, he reached down and gently scooped it into his palm. Its texture was soft, almost silky, and the blue rings continued to pulse as if the creature were simply resting. He carried it carefully to a deeper pool sheltered by rocks and lowered his hand beneath the surface. The creature swirled away, disappearing into the shadows. Michael smiled to himself, feeling good about helping something so small and defenseless. Then he brushed the salt water off his hands and continued his walk. By the time he got home, he'd almost forgotten about it. But while reaching for a plate during lunch, something caught his eye. His palm looked different. Faint blue markings were beginning to appear on his skin. Circular patterns just like the ones on the creature. They weren't painful, but under the kitchen light, they seemed to glow ever so slightly. His heart skipped a beat. He rushed to his computer and typed in a description of what he'd held. The first image that appeared made his stomach drop. Blue-ringed octopus. His hands began to shake as he read. One of the most venomous animals on Earth. Bite victims can experience paralysis within minutes. No known antidote. Fatal if untreated. Michael scanned his body for symptoms. Numbness? None. Difficulty breathing? No. He felt completely fine, aside from the marks on his palm. But the internet was clear. Contact with this creature was not something to take lightly. He grabbed his keys and drove straight to the emergency room. The ER nurse called for a doctor immediately. Within minutes, Michael was hooked up to monitors, his vitals being tracked. The medical team asked rapid questions. What did the creature look like? How long ago? Did he feel any tingling, any weakness? Michael answered honestly. He felt completely fine. The doctors ran blood tests, checked his oxygen levels, monitored his heart rate. Everything came back normal. The marks weren't spreading or inflamed. They just existed, beautiful and strange. Confused, the hospital reached out to a specialist. An hour later, Dr. Elena Santos arrived, a marine biologist from the Pacific Marine Research Center. She examined Michael's hand carefully, first with the naked eye, then under a handheld UV light. The blue patterns glowed brighter beneath the special wavelength. Then she did something unexpected. She smiled. Michael blinked, confused. "Is that a good sign?" Dr. Santos looked at him with genuine amazement. "Mr. Reed, you're not suffering from venom poisoning. What you have on your hand is bioluminescent bacteria, a harmless organism that lives on blue-ringed octopuses. It normally washes off within hours, but in your case it bonded to your skin, and that only happens under very specific circumstances." Michael stared at her, not understanding. She leaned forward, her voice filled with quiet excitement. "You have a genetic immunity to the octopus's venom. Your body doesn't just resist it, it neutralizes it completely. The bacteria only reveal themselves on people with this trait. It's like a biological signature." Michael's mind raced. "How rare is that?" "Extremely. Fewer than 100 people worldwide are known to have this immunity. Most never discover it because they never encounter a blue-ringed octopus. You did, and you survived without even realizing you were in danger." Michael sat back, stunned. A creature he'd thought was fragile and helpless had been one of the deadliest animals on the planet. And instead of being harmed, he'd uncovered something extraordinary about himself. Over the following weeks, Dr. Santos invited him to volunteer at the Pacific Marine Research Center. Scientists studied his blood, hoping to develop better antivenoms for victims of marine stings. He learned to handle blue-ringed octopuses safely, assisting researchers in work that had previously been considered too dangerous. The original octopus he'd saved was brought to the center and placed in a specialized habitat. The staff affectionately named it Glow. Michael visited often, watching as it moved gracefully through the water, its blue rings pulsing in the same hypnotic rhythm he remembered from that morning on the beach. He never imagined that a simple act of kindness would lead to this. He'd been an ordinary man, walking an ordinary coastline, living an ordinary life, but the ocean had revealed something hidden within him, a gift he never knew he possessed. The blue marks on his palm eventually faded, but the memory stayed. Every time Michael returned to the tide pools, he moved a little slower, looked a little closer. The smallest creatures, he realized, often held the greatest mysteries. And sometimes, in trying to save something fragile, you discover you were the one being saved all along.